Welcome back, you guys. Danielle Phelps here with Passion Profit CEO, and I'm so excited to talk to you today about the needs, wants, and demands of your clients. This really goes into that psychology behind why people purchase what they purchase and those buying decisions that they make, right? And so it also goes into supply and demand. So I'm going to break this all down for you so you can understand why it's important to understand your needs, wants, and demands of your clients before creating any products or offers that you're going to create, okay? And so first things first, the needs. What do people need? All right. So needs really goes into that whole environment of holistic health. Think about it that way. So you have, you've got physical, mental, emotional, social, spiritual, intellectual, financial health. Okay. Those are all needs that people have. We need, food, water, air, sleep, safety, security. We need entertainment, which would be social. We need relationships. All those things are for our well-being, to live an abundant, thriving life, right? So we have those needs. When we're deprived of one of those needs, we literally, we can feel it inside of us that we need it, right? Which helps us to create that buying decision of, oh, I got to have that, right? And so that is a need. You want your overall business idea to be a need for your clients. Okay. We talked about those core markets for your industry. That's the need. Okay. And then when it comes to the wants, this is where that market research comes into play, because you're defining a specific preference that your clients have. Okay. So when it comes into, that shelter and that food and all the things, they have a specific preference. Your ideal clients have a specific preference. So for example, some people prefer tomatoes versus potatoes. Some people prefer to live in the city versus in the country. Some people prefer to have an inside job for their career versus an outside job for their career, right? All those things are a want associated with their need, okay? And then you have the demands. The demands are going to be their ability to pay for what they want. It goes back to those priorities of what it is and how much they value something, okay? And so, for example, let's say you and your husband or your spouse, I think husband because I generally work with women, but let's say you and your spouse are thinking about going out to eat. And your husband loves tomatoes with his steak, but you prefer potatoes with your steak, okay? And so there's two different supplies there, okay? There's two different demands there of what you want. You're demanding to have potatoes with your steak. He's demanding to have tomatoes with your steak, but you both want to find a company that's going to provide you both with what you want so that you can eat together, right? That's a demand. So demand goes back to your ability to pay for and the need for what you want. Does this make sense? I know it's so confusing, okay? But this is why market research is important, because you have to know your ideal client, not just, thinking about that company that provides both the steak with the potatoes and steak with tomatoes. They have an overall ideal client. Their overall ideal client is the person who wants steak. They need to eat food. That's the need. Okay. Their customers need to eat food. They want steak. They're demanding potatoes or tomatoes with that steak. Okay, does that make sense? All right. So that's why market research is important. You want to know that overall need of what you're providing. What category of holistic health does it fall in to where somebody is going to see it as a need that they want to purchase? Okay. It goes back to those core markets that we talked about for your industry: health, wealth, relationships, or saving time, and spirituality and contribution. Which area does that fall under? Where's your business? Okay. That's the need. What do they want? What are they wanting when it comes to that specific thing? That's where it breaks down and goes into those sub markets. Okay. What do they want? Your ideal clients may want different things. One may want steak with potatoes. One may want steak with tomatoes. Okay. That's okay. Your signature offer is going to provide them with everything that they demand. Whereas some of these alternative offers that you are creating are going to be specific to certain people. Okay. The product that you, or the offer that you're creating, it has to be satisfying to your clients. It goes to client satisfaction. That's why the market research is important. You have to know what they need, what they want, what they're demanding. Okay. How much are they willing to pay for it? Those are the 4 things that you really need to find out in your market research. And then ask yourself the question, can they choose not to have it? And if they choose not to have it, what would they want instead? Okay. Some people will pay for an iPhone, but they won't pay the same amount of money for that iPhone to start a business. Even though the business brings them an ROI, an iPhone doesn't bring them any kind of monetary return. Okay. What do they want instead? Okay. Can they choose not to have it? And if they choose not to have it, what would they want instead? You're starting a business. Your business depends on people buying your products. This is where supply and demand comes into play. Supply is what you're offering, and the demand is how many people want it. Okay. So you have to have a demand for your offer before you even start supplying it to other people. Okay. What is the need that's going to be fulfilled? How many people want that? And what specific demands do they have in order to obtain that, to purchase that? Okay. Again, the psychology of the reason why people buy is because it fits all 3. It fulfills the need that they have. They want it because it's specific to what they want, and it fits how much they can afford to pay for it, and it fits that specific demand that they have for that want. Okay. And we know that people buy based on scarcity, and that goes into, is there a short supply of it? Just like in real estate, you've seen how, houses go on short supply, and there's more demand for those houses because there's not enough houses to buy. You've seen how with the pandemic, toilet paper went, the supply dropped because so many people were buying it, and then there wasn't enough, and people were demanding demanding toilet paper. It didn't matter what kind, they just needed toilet paper. But ultimately, people have a certain desire on what kind of toilet paper they use. But when the supply drops down, they choose whatever is there because it's a need, right? They can't go without it. But they want Charmin, or they want Angel Soft, or they want whatever other brand, right? But their demand is it has to be in between this price point, or I'm not buying it. Or it has to, what is that value? It has to have this strong, it has to be 2-ply, or I'm not buying it, right? What are those demands? We know that they buy based on short supply, and we know that they buy based on deadlines of it's now or never, right? Just with the toilet paper. If you don't buy it now before it's all gone, you're not going to have any. Okay, it creates that scarcity in the supply of what's available to them. And then it goes into pricing. Okay. When it comes to pricing, there are two different people that you have as an ideal client. You have people who see quality over quantity, and you have people who see quantity over quality. Okay. There was a research thing done on wine, and they had people test wine. Okay. And they had them drink test the wine and to discover which one they felt was higher quality. On that test, people chose that both wines were equivalent. They thought that they tasted the same. Okay. But when people were shown the label on the wine and what the price tag was of the wine, they thought that the wine that was more expensive was higher quality wine just because of the price tag. Think about that. In your business, it's going to be the same thing. And that's why we have you create that signature high ticket offer, because that's going to be the highest demand. That's what people want the most. Okay. But then you're also going to have people who value price over quality. So they're going to want to pay a certain price because their financial atmosphere, they're still in need there, right? They can't afford the high quality. So then you have to think about your ideal clients and how you can serve them in that way. And this is where we go into enhancing your sales system, because you're going to create a whole ecosystem for your ideal client of different products that's going to serve them based on their individual different demographics on who they are, right? The restaurant serves the person who wants steak and potatoes, and it also serves the person who wants steak and tomatoes. You're going to serve both types of people in your business with your offers. But first, you want to get that main offer out there that is your most ideal client who values quality over the price tag. Okay. And then you can start pulling from that quality to figure out other offers that are going to align with the demands of your people. All in all, whenever you're creating that signature offer, you want it to be something that they need, they want, and at a price that they can afford, okay, for the biggest supply and demand. Again, supply is how much needs to be produced to be able to fulfill the demand of the people, okay? So for the most demand, we've got a fly in here. The demand, okay, what is the price tag that fits the majority of the people who will be coming into your business? Still giving them the high quality that they're looking for. That's where your signature offer comes in. Okay, so that's what you're trying to fulfill right now. That need, that want, and a demand of price that is needed by a lot of people so that you can have a lot of supply in your business and create a lot of return. Okay, you want to create a lot of transactions within your business. That's what you're looking for. Where are the majority of your people, when it comes to your market research, saying that their demand level is on price that matches the quality of what they expect when it comes to their needs and wants? Okay. All right, guys, if you have questions on this, let me know. I know supply and demand can be a little mind-boggling if you don't understand it, if it's the first time you're interacting with it. And then when it comes to needs, wants, and demands, that can also be a little bit tricky too when it comes to your ideal clients, because it really does go into that major category of what are they deprived of? That's their need. Then what specifically are they wanting? That's the want. Okay. And then their demand really falls along the lines of price or a specific product that they're looking for. Okay. All right, guys, if you have questions, let me know. You can ask in the support group, or if you have the VIP experience, you're welcome to message me with that, and we'll figure out specific for your business. All right, guys, I'll see you in the next training.